Man, it is entirely too cold for this. Whew. All right. Well, you guys asked for a tour of the greenhouse, so today I am delivering. And as you can see, there's snow over there in the background. We got about 4 inches, I think it was, of snow. And it is finally starting to melt, but we're going to do a little tour, just kind of show you around the ideas behind everything that we built and added to the greenhouse, as well as some of the yard that's in construction now. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start with the outside of the greenhouse. We're going to touch on the dimensions real quick. So as far as the actual greenhouse itself, we've got a 12-foot long and then 8-foot wide. So it's 96 square feet in the inside. The roof is 14 feet long and 10 feet wide. We do have a 12-foot ceiling here and then 10 in the back. So that gives us a 2-foot drop and plenty of space for the quail to jump if they get scared. That way they don't hit their necks. Now in the front we do have 2 Okami cherry trees. These are really and truly just floral trees, but they actually do produce little cherries during the spring. Really good, really sour. But the idea here was basically for the trees to branch up and you walk through the pink blooms and everything during the spring. Now as far as the front here of the greenhouse, we did put some pavers down just to kind of give you a little cement landing there. Now as far as the base, we did a cement foundation, and then on top of that cement foundation, we did 2 layers of cinder blocks all the way around, except for here in the front, obviously, because you need to put a door there. Now my wife is really big on flowers, so here we've got a rose, and then over there is actually another climbing rose that will eventually go up and climb over the top part of the greenhouse there. We did a double door here, one being screen on the front. That way we can actually open the door, the main door, inside and have airflow go through during the summer when it gets a lot hotter. And this was a custom made door. It does have mosquito net on the outside and then also hardware cloth on the inside to keep any predators from breaking in through the door. Now every window that you see on the greenhouse is actually repurposed or antique. So, and in fact, this door here is actually from my wife's granddad's old house. The rest of the house was destroyed, but we wanted to keep the door and put it to good use. So yeah, now it is the door to our greenhouse. And we did paint it bright orange. So I'll close this here. Now, if you're a fan of the bright colors that the greenhouse is, my wife did most of the painting. She loves her pastels, and it just gives a really nice pop to the garden, especially when it's winter and we don't have anything else that is putting off color. The greenhouse will always put off color. All right, now on to this side of the greenhouse. This is a under construction part of the garden. I did have to bring up a lot of dirt over there because this was pretty much all eroded out just from rain. So I've brought in a lot of dirt to flatten this area back out, and I was able to put the birdies raised bed over there. Now I've got 1, 2, 3 birdies raised beds, and if that is something that you're interested in, I actually do have a affiliate link with Epic Gardening. So you can go to epicgardening.com/limeleaf, and I'll put that up on the screen so you can see it. But that gives you 5% off your entire purchase. So yeah, go check them out. And I mean, really great quality product. I absolutely love them. In fact, I've got a 4th one inside waiting to be put together. I got it for Christmas. It's going to go somewhere in there. And then this little section here, let me find my feet. All right, now this little section here is a brand new flower bed that I just put in for my wife. She absolutely loves her flowers. We're going to have flower beds pretty much everywhere. So yeah, this is going to be, I believe, tulips is what she's putting here. But yeah, so this section is specifically for her to plant her flowers as she pleases. And then also along the edge of the greenhouse there, you'll notice the rocks on this side, but a little patch of dirt. Now that is for flowers as well. She's already got some tulips planted there. In fact, they are coming up. It looks really, really good during the spring when everything's blooming and beautiful. But do ignore the mess that I've got here. Like I said, this is under construction. So the whole idea that I'm going for is basically just having a nice flow to everything. Eventually I'm going to have a corn bed there, tomatoes and cucumbers over there, just a big, probably I would say, I don't know, a 6x6 area for the corn, 6x6 area for the tomatoes and cucumbers and whatever. But I want to have nice little pathways through each one of those. And then you'll notice here I've got a nice little flow into this, which is a pathway, which comes up. And then when you come back this way, I've actually got rocks that go straight down into this little area. So the plan is to have a little pathway going that way, so I can access this bed, and then eventually have the pathway going on out so I can access all the different beds that are there. And of course those rocks were my wife's idea. She's an absolute genius and I love her. Just to give you a little close-up visual of the rocks, or at least somewhat close up, this is how they go. And then there's a little rock path that goes all the way around the back of the greenhouse. And then you come back this way and boom, flow. Or I can go this way. Ooh, changed it up on you. Ooh. And also this snow has completely decimated all of my Brussels sprouts and collards that I had growing here. Also had a garlic and a carrot down there that are completely dead. So thank you, snow. So now on to the back side of the greenhouse, which is probably the messiest. We've got my rotating compost bin here, a few pots that I need to do something with, my tools, shovels, rakes, pickaxe, all that good stuff. You've got a little gardenia plant here. So that rock path that I was telling you about, it does still kind of flow through here and goes straight into this little pathway over there. So two things I want to touch on the back here. This is a gutter, obviously. We are planning on using this for a rainwater collection system so that we can water everything over there on that side of the greenhouse. I just haven't set it up yet, and there's a bunch of ice up there right now. Wonder, not bad. The other thing that I want to touch on is the windows here. Now these are, I believe they're taken out of an old house somewhere. They do open so that we can allow airflow to go through the back side of the greenhouse. Typically we set fans up right here to kind of help push that air, the cool air, through there. Cool being because of the shade, and most of the sun is on that side of the greenhouse. Now with having the windows open, you do have to worry about predators, so we put up some more hardware cloth here on the back side just to give that extra layer of protection, keep the quail safe inside. This is an old piece of driftwood that has a few little hanging points. So usually we have a suet feeder on here for the birds, kind of bring them into the garden, because that's what it's all about, is bringing wildlife into your garden, just seeing everything bloom and just be the way that it is supposed to be in nature. That's what we're recreating anyways, is nature. So why not bring the birds, the bees, the butterflies, and all the other bugs and wildlife out there. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Anyways, yeah, so now let's flow this way. All right, so the right side of the greenhouse now, as you can see, we've got another birdie's raised bed here. This is going to be primarily herbs. That way they don't get a ton of sun and get scorched during the summer. You'll also notice this little pathway here, which I plan to basically just wrap around the greenhouse and go over there to those rocks and just have a nice even flow to everything. You'll also notice here, this is a Japanese loquat. I've had this for about 3 years now. Planted it outside my first year, and I don't think it's supposed to be able to take cold, but I think it's kind of adapted to our climate. So yeah, it's growing really well, and eventually it will kind of create a little shade here over the pathway as you walk through. Now obviously I'm gonna have to do some trimming and everything to it, but that's the idea behind this little Japanese loquat. And of course fruit too, but that at a later date. Now as far as future plans for this side here, I eventually want to take these rocks and put them, kind of curve them more towards the greenhouse, towards the edge there, and then do the same on the back side so that I can have this nice little garden bed area around the raised garden bed, but put artichokes and other flowers in there. I'm not exactly 100% sure what we're going to do with this side, but we're going to figure it out. We've got a rosemary plant over there, and then another little flower box for my wife right there, which I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it. It's right there. Right there. Now, on to the inside of the greenhouse. Let's go. So it's always extraordinarily difficult to record in here just because the space is a little tight, especially with all the fruit trees in here. Got my lime tree, my Shiranui mandarin, my Bingo mandarin, another key lime there, a calamansi or calamondin right here below you, ponderosa lemon inside with the quail, namwa banana inside with the quail as well, and a pomegranate in there. So it can get quite crowded in the winter just because the trees take up so much space. Now on this little shelf over here, I know it's kind of hard to see just because of the fruit trees, but there's a little shelf here that's primarily where we're gonna be starting seeds, just because that is the south facing window and that gives us the most sun exposure throughout the day. Is my apple and plum tree cutting experiment that I've got going on. And then right here in this little pot is my chickpea. And you can see we do have a little sprout there. I'm not seeing any others just yet. Well, I'm gonna do a full video on this later on. It might just be too cold, honestly, for them. Oh, wait a minute. We've got another one. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of hard to see. Try to get it focused there. Maybe. I don't know if you can see that. But there's another one. But it might just be too cold for the chickpeas to be sprouting anyways. I mean, as you can see, we have snow outside. So, alright, so this is a little screen divider that we have in here just to keep the quail on that side for the winter. When we have all the fruit trees in here, they will get in there and dig around and basically take all the soil out of those pots. So that's why we have this little divider. Now during the summer, we will open this back up. We've got a split door here. All right, so what I mean by split door is exactly what it sounds like. So we've got this little separate section of the door down here that you can attach to this if I need to open up the entire thing. That way if I can clean it out, and you'll rake all the wood chips and soil and that kind of stuff out. Another reason for this split door is that I can open this up, take a step inside, do whatever I need to do, and this keeps them from running out underneath me through a fully open door. Alright, so I am having to cut this video short just because my camera's about to die, but that was the tour of the greenhouse. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely still a lot of work to be done to it, but also we've done a lot and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Super happy with the way it looks, thanks to my wife. She is amazing, like I said. We've got a custom little sign there, Bay and Austin's greenhouse. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments if you have any questions about anything that I showed in particular, or upcoming plans, that kind of stuff. All right, my camera is dying as I speak, so thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, subscribe. Anyways, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.